Hey, what's going on guys, my name is EndingGamertag and I'm back for your daily Fortnite video. Now in today's video I'm sharing with you guys how to get more wins in arena mode in Fortnite Battle Royale. If you guys are going to enjoy the video and or find it helpful, I would appreciate a like down below. On the contrary, if you genuinely dislike today's video, feel free to leave a dislike, and I'd also appreciate a comment letting me know what I can improve on for future videos to make it more enjoyable for you. As well, if you're new around here and would like to be notified whenever I come out with more daily Fortnite content like this in the future, then feel free to subscribe as well as turning on those post notifications. With that out of the way, let's hop right into today's video. Now, arena mode is basically a brand new addition to Fortnite Battle Royale, and the reason for this being added is to basically have another option for players that are more advanced or take the game more serious, basically not for your casual players. An arena is not at any means similar to public matches. It's a completely different game style that needs to be played. There's a lot of other decisions that you need to make that you typically will not, and again, it's just very different. So maybe if you're an advanced player and like to play against people with a relatively same skill base, then arena mode is for you. Or if you like the update that it was before, where there's health and shield per elimination as well as materials, then this update's for you as well. Now, arena mode in my opinion is a lot of fun. With that being said, it's very frustrating at the same time, because again, a lot of players are taking it very seriously in this game mode, and they're not playing how you typically would expect someone to play, at least compared to public matches. So this is like a parallel game mode, or like a replicated style of scrims and tourneys that you see a lot of pro players playing. So that's also a really fun thing. I know if you guys watch a lot of pro players, you'll more than likely enjoy this. So that's why it's kind of difficult to get wins. It's because people play so differently, and it's just unnatural to fight against the kind of people that you're going to come across in arena mode. Now for credit, I've actually only played a few games of arena mode, as I haven't been on Fortnite too much recently. I've been kind of busy making videos, etc. But I played about 4 or 5 games in arena mode, and I've won literally every single one. I'm currently in the Contender League, which is the league right before the Champion League. So I kind of know my way around arena mode, and I think I'm fit or suit to be showing you guys basically how to win arena mode. Due to my current 100% win rate, I'm by all means sure that I'll eventually lose an arena mode game here or there. It's going to happen. It's literally impossible for it to not happen. But again, as of right now, I have a 100% win percentage, and I believe in the background I'm showing a gameplay of me an arena solo, which was I think 2 or 3 days ago, and this was my 2nd or 3rd game of arena mode. I'm not too sure, it's one of the two. So if you guys wanted to see basically a display of arena mode, there you have it. But now let's hop right into how to get more wins in arena mode. Now I'm going to walk through as if we're playing in the game itself. I'm going to say what you need to do in the beginning, what you need to do in the middle, as well as what you need to do at the end, and basically the timestamps in between those. So first off, at the beginning of the game, this is where you're going to land. Now arena mode is very different than public matches, because a lot of people obviously want to survive longer, as they can get more points and rank up faster. So basically, no matter where you go on the map, you can go Haunted Hills or Junk Junction or even Tilted Towers, there's always going to be at least one other person there more than likely, unless you get extremely lucky. My personal favorite spot to land in arena mode is Dusty Divot, due to the fact that it's right in the middle and it's not too crowded. There maybe be 5 or 6 people landing here, and I always have escape routes. So if I see that I have a bad landing and people are landing before me, I can go to one of the pirate camps, or I can go down to the diner, or whatever the case might be. There's a lot of other named locations, or even not named locations, around Dusty Divot that I can use as a plan B, plan C, and etc. So if you like to land Dusty Divot, by all means do that, because once again, you're probably not going to find anywhere that's not going to have a lot of people landing there. So unfortunately for public matches, I would say land somewhere like Junk Junction if you really don't want to get eliminated. But again, chances are someone might actually be there, believe it or not. Now statistically speaking, there's probably a better chance that no one's going to be at Junk Junction than compared to somewhere like Salty Springs. So if you're really focused on not getting eliminated right off the bat and you feel like you can't hold your own at the start, then I suppose Junk Junction might be for you, or maybe somewhere like Lucky Landing, just the perimeter of the island. However, if you feel like you can at least combat a couple people off of you and get a few eliminations at the very start, then again, Dusty Divot, maybe Retail Row, and areas around that are more for you. And if you're focused on getting high elimination games, which I'm not too sure exactly why you'd be doing that in the first place, then I guess Tilted Towers is probably your best bet. So that's for the landing. At the beginning, I recommend this for any game, whether you're on arena or solos or public matches, whatever the case might be. You always want to land where you see a weapon immediately. Don't take a chance and a risk where you think there might be a chest at, because chests don't have a 100% spawn rate. So for instance, if I'm landing Dusty Divot and I see a weapon on the top of the roof, I'm immediately going to land there and land on that weapon. I'd rather have a white common pistol guaranteed than to take the risk of there possibly not being a chest around and getting eliminated right off the bat. So again, land where you see a guaranteed weapon. Don't take any risks to maybe or maybe not get one in the beginning. And a lot of times weapons that spawn on roofs are usually going to be like pumps or ARs, so you typically won't be too unlucky with that. So that's one way to basically bypass the RNG curse of unluckiness, is to land on a weapon that you see for sure. Now at this point, you want to basically rack up as many materials as you can, as well as make sure you have a lot of shield. Firstly, what I do is, again, I land on a guaranteed weapon and I go around hitting any one hit object. So that can be like chairs or tables, etc. And I try to get as many materials as I can. This way, if someone runs up on me, I at least have a defense to put up. I can put up a few walls and try to build against them. And another important thing I do in the beginning that everyone else should be doing is looking for shields. Because obviously, if you have 200 health from consuming shields and you fight against someone that has 100 health, you're obviously at such an advantage. You're literally doubling their health, so it's going to take twice as much effort for them to eliminate you than it is for you. And chances are, you're more than likely going to get that elimination. So having shields and putting yourself at 200 health at the very beginning is extremely critical and beyond important. So if you've done everything at this point, we should have at least 150 health, preferably 200 health. We should have a decent inventory, basically a set inventory of an AR, like a pump, and then an SMG, and then have like a couple shields maybe. And then we should also have at least a decent foundation for materials. Now this is for the beginning of the game. We talked about where to land, to how to get a guaranteed weapon, as well as basically the foundation to build, which again was materials, shield, and having a decent inventory. So at this point we should be pretty set for at least the mid game. Now the mid game is actually the most boring part of the game if you ask me, because we're just going to continuously try to get as many materials as we can. It's a pretty sequenced kind of game style. In the beginning, you basically try to survive and combat anyone off, and then in the middle of the game, you're setting yourself up for the end game, which is of course the most important. So for the middle of the game, we're just again collecting as many materials as we can and try to maximize our materials, trying to get 500 wood, 500 brick, and 500 metal, again because we're setting ourselves up for the end game. Now when I play arena mode, or at least for like the gameplay in the background where I was in open league, I tried my best to get eliminations. I literally was landing on everyone. If I couldn't find someone, I would use a launch pad and fly on someone and just play extremely aggressive. However, obviously I'm in contender league now and eventually hopefully in champion league, and my game style has completely changed. So if you're in open league, you'll probably maybe see a few other people in the middle of the game. You'll maybe get 3 or 4 other eliminations, which is going to help you rank up throughout the leagues. If you're in contender or even champion league, then the game style during the middle game should be completely different, where again you're literally focusing on getting material. Now another thing I find to be kind of important is making sure that you have like traps and things like that. So campfires, traps, and launch pads are going to be so important for you. Campfires, of course, if you ever get shot at any point in the game. Launch pads if you ever need to make an escape or if the storm is not in your favor. And then lastly, traps. If you're in a build battle and you fortunately trap someone, place down a trap and it's pretty much an automatic kill depending on where they're placed and their health. So these 3 are also very, very important. So if you find a llama, definitely go for it. And then also another tip I can give you guys for the mid-game game style is try to collect as many supply drops as you can. Fortunately enough, about a month and a half ago, Epic Games added an update where they showed where the supply drops are landing. So go towards these, and then basically you're guaranteed a golden weapon at least. So this is how you set yourself up with a good inventory, and again, setting ourselves up for end game. So every supply drop we're opening, we're getting materials, we're getting at least 1 golden weapon, and we're also going to get something like a campfire, a launch pad, or maybe traps. So this is why this is also extremely important. Now once again, at this point in the game, you might find maybe anywhere from 2 to 5 other opponents. Obviously if they're playing aggressive and pushing you, then you're going to want to do the same back. I wouldn't recommend disengaging unless your health is like 10 or 15 or something ridiculous and you're at such a disadvantage. But if you're in a pretty safe space and no one's coming for you and you have a decent inventory, good materials, and traps, campfires, and launch pads, then what I'd recommend doing is positioning yourself where the circle or storm is about to move towards. So obviously we can see where the next safe zone is, and you want to get there as fast as you possibly can. I wouldn't recommend necessarily going in the middle, but also I wouldn't recommend going towards the perimeter, and here's why. If you're at the perimeter, everyone's going to be pushing towards the safe zone, otherwise they're going to die from the storm. So when you're at the perimeter, people are going to constantly be passing you and pushing towards you, and you're going to have no other opportunity to basically escape, which is increasing your probability of getting eliminated. Now if you go in the middle, people are also going towards the middle as well. It's a pretty common spot to go because people want to set themselves up for the next circle. So what I'd recommend doing is going between middle and the perimeter. If you're in the middle, it's not too bad, but if you're in the perimeter, I would recommend obviously moving in more. Now that is for the mid game. We have now moved on to what I'd consider to be the end game, and this is when there's around maybe 15 or less players remaining. Now this is where things get tricky, and this is where it completely differs from your general public matches, is because the game style is so different. One thing you need to understand for any sort of advanced or competitive gameplay in Fortnite is that high ground is one of the most advantageous points of the game. So players are going to try their best to get on any hills that they can or build up with height and make sure that it has a decent foundation so it doesn't get destroyed. Again, high ground is very important. You can see and look down where everyone is. It allows you to increase your awareness. It just benefits you in so many different ways. So try your absolute best to get high ground. So if you look at your map in the safe zone and you see that a hill or a really tall mountain is in the safe zone, you need to go up there first. And the reason this is because if someone's already up there and you're pushing up there, you're exposing so much of your body, and usually your whole character will be exposed at one point or another, and it's going to be beyond easy for them to eliminate you. All they have to do is apply mild pressure and you're probably going to get picked off. So if you're the first one up there, you're the one with the advantage of high ground. Again, you can see where everyone is, and if someone tries to push up on you, just apply a little bit amount of pressure and you're probably going to end up eliminating them. Now, if you don't get high ground immediately, the best thing you can do is position yourself at the bottom edge of the hill or mountain. This way, the only way they can even see you is if they crouch over and lean over the entire hill or mountain and look down at you. Obviously, if you're across from the mountain and you're on the ground, it's going to be way easier for them just to pick you off. So to play it safe, again, go to the edge and bottom of the mountain or hill. Either box yourself up or just kind of cover yourself up and at least have some barrier against you. Now at this point, it's probably going to be pretty calm for the most part. People are going to be in their own separate areas and just holding down that area. Now we're at the point of the game where maybe there's 10 people remaining and the storm or safe zone starts to move and go in unpredictable manners. And this is the RNG of arena mode, which sucks, but it's also part of public matches as well. And this is basically based on luck. So hopefully the circle or safe zone lands on you. If it does, then you're in such a good position. However, if it doesn't, then you're going to have to find and make an escape route to basically move towards where the circle is going. I'd recommend doing this as quick as possible. Don't wait for the storm to come, because then you're going to be pushed. And if someone's applying pressure on you and you have to run towards them with the storm coming, you're going to trap yourself and either get eliminated by them or the storm itself. So moving towards the safe zone the fastest that you can, you're going to be in the better position than the other players that are waiting for the storm. Now again, if you're in the safe zone, if you got that lucky, then what I'd recommend is building like a window or something and taking shots of the people that are trying to position themselves where you are based around. Another tip I can give you guys is if you have launch pads or something like that, or even gliders, then basically use these to get above other players, because players are obviously going to be taking shots at people that are on the ground with them. However, if you're way up in the air, they're not going to look up and try to take shots at you. It's just a difficult angle and it's probably not going to be in their best bet. So if the safe zone's on the other side and you need to get over there, I would wait for the storm to come and then use a launch pad and fly above everyone and then position yourself where you need to be. Typically after the first storm moves, most of the players get picked off at this point. There may be anywhere from 3 to 5 players remaining. Basically repeat this process. Again, try to get high ground as fast as you can and be the first one to do so. If not, then make sure you're barricaded and in a safe position. Play defense at this point. Next, if you're in the safe zone, stay there and pick off anyone that's coming towards you. And if you're not, then make sure you get there as fast as you can and use the launch pads and gliders and fly around in the air and basically use that to your benefit. Continuously do this, and if you do it properly, you'll more than likely get the win. And that is why endgame is so difficult, because this is obviously going to be the best players in the lobby. They're going to be people who understand the same basics that I'm talking about right now and just the general concept of how to win arena mode games. So basically you're just going against other players that are doing the same thing as you. So you basically have to outsmart other players, which is something I can't necessarily tell you guys how to do because every scenario is going to be different. But if you do so again, you're going to win in arena mode every single time. So that is how you guys can win more arena mode games step by step. Again, started from the beginning of the game, the middle of the game, and then move lastly onto the end game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video and or found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like down below. Also, if you're new around here and would like to see more daily Fortnite content like this in the future, feel free to subscribe as well as turning on those post notifications. My name is EndingGamertag. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later today. Adios.